So I just got done watching Avengers Age of Ultron trailer 3. First thing I gotta say is, wow, that was awesome. There was one thing that really stuck out for me. It's when Quicksilver runs and punches Captain America in the face. Firstly, that looks like it would super hurt. But more importantly, Quicksilver was in the Days of Future Past X-Men movie that was just put out by Fox. What that basically means is that there's going to be two different Quicksilver versions in Marvel movies at the same time in two different Marvel franchises. I've also seen in the comics, in order to distance Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch from the X-Men, they've done a storyline that reveals that Magneto is not their father. What's really awesome about this movie is it makes it look like it's a force so powerful that everyone has to get in on it. We also know that Sony has come to an agreement with Marvel so that Marvel can put Spider-Man in their movies now. With that said, I do hope that Spider-Man makes his way into this movie because growing up, Spider-Man's always been my favorite superhero, but we'll have to wait and see. Alright, so in case you haven't heard, there's a video of the LAPD shooting a homeless man to death on the street. Usually in these situations, I tend to side against the police. With that said, in this case, I feel differently. I mean, this is a video that kind of hits home to me because I have friends that live in this area, and I travel to this area of the world on occasion. With that said, when I first saw the video, I was sort of outraged with the police. After I sort of examined it a little bit closer, this person grabbing the police officer's gun, you can see that he's actually got it out of the holster, and you can hear the police officer saying over and over again, he's going for my gun, he's going for my gun. Once a person has a gun and they're resisting arrest and they're in a confrontation with police officers and now they've got a deadly weapon, it then becomes a situation of the police officer's life or this person that's attacking the police officer's life. If you put yourselves in the shoes of those police officers, once he's got a gun and he's fighting one of your coworkers, you have to think about that person's family. You have to think about that person's life. And it really is a point of this person's life against the attacker's life. Anytime this sort of stuff happens, it tends to be a little bit controversial. That's my thoughts on it. So Comedy Central has released a video of Bob Barker and Adam Sandler reuniting after their fallout like 15 or 20 years ago during Happy Gilmore. If you haven't seen Happy Gilmore, and I wouldn't be surprised because there's a lot of kids out there that probably wouldn't have even heard of that by now, which, wow, that makes me feel old. During Happy Gilmore, the character Happy Gilmore has a celebrity golf tournament. His partner is Bob Barker. The two get into an altercation. During this altercation, there's one of Hollywood's most epic fist fights.
Now you're gonna get it, Bobby!
The two have a couple quips back and forth.
I think Price is Right is on now. We could watch that. Love the host.
Bob actually probably gets the best of Adam Sandler in this video.
You're looking chunkier than the soup.
That was a good one.
And then it slowly escalates into a fight. It escalates further and further into really ridiculous places, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. All I'm going to say is if you haven't seen it, check it out because it was really awesome. The big story in pro wrestling, of course, is Bill Demott. If you're not familiar with him, he was Hugh Morris in WCW. He's the trainer for NXT. He has stepped down due to allegations of racist, homophobic, and abusive behavior. The thing about this story is it's more about context and less about whether or not he actually did it. The behavior that he's done is nothing new to pro wrestling. This is sort of part of paying your dues, as they say. The idea has always been to test guys early on to see how much they can take before they break. Hulk Hogan literally had his leg broken in his first wrestling class. The problem now is WWE is a corporate entity. It's a publicly traded company. Most people that have stuck up for Bill Demott haven't said that he didn't do these things. They've just said that this is part of pro wrestling. The real argument is whether or not it should be part of pro wrestling today. Bill Demott has denied these allegations and has stepped down. There's a lot of people that have said that these were things that he's done years ago but isn't doing anymore. Regardless, Bill Demott has left his position as head trainer of NXT. There's some rumors going around that he may find an office job within the WWE. We'll have to watch how this story plays out, but as of right now, he's no longer the trainer at NXT. Daylight savings is about to end. This is pretty good news because it means that the sun will be up later at night. I actually think it's time that we get rid of daylight savings. I think it's passe. It served a purpose when everybody was a farmer. Today, it just sort of makes everybody grumpy when they lose an hour of sleep. And more importantly, when we fall back, we lose an hour of daylight at night. Where I happen to live, Daylight, without daylight savings, it would end at 5 o'clock. When we switch our clocks, it ends at 4 o'clock, which means basically you don't get to see the sun all day. And now in the spring, the sun is coming up longer at night. Today it's 5 o'clock. We still have the sun up. It'll be 6 o'clock and the sun will still be up. And then, of course, later on in the year, it'll be 10 o'clock by the time the sun goes down. If they flip daylight savings around, I would not be as much against it. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think, if we should get rid of daylight savings time and be like Saskatchewan or other places that don't have daylight savings.
You think you could take Adam Sandler today?
Oh, Adam would be no problem. Adam couldn't whip Regis Philbin.